Get ready to say goodbye to the 12th Doctor, as Peter Capaldi has officially announced that the next season of Doctor Who will be his last. Capaldi has played the 12th Doctor since 2014, and the actor has decided it's time to call it quits before he gets too settled in. Along with not wanting to be typecast in the role, Capaldi has also expressed frustration with the BBC's treatment of the show in recent years, particularly in regards to its wibbly-wobbly time slot. Capaldi's final season of the show will begin on April 15th, and it's presumed that his final appearance will be in this year's Christmas episode, where they will reveal his successor. Or will they? With the departure of Capaldi, along with showrunner Stephen Moffat, and a gradual decline in ratings since its heyday, some are speculating that it may be time to put the TARDIS away for a while. Meanwhile, casting has been announced for 2 upcoming Marvel television shows. Olivia Holt and Aubrey Joseph have been cast for the Cloak and Dagger TV show. Joseph is a relative unknown who has played small parts in a handful of movies and TV series, while Holt has grown up on the Disney Channel, moving from supporting role to starring in her own short-lived show. Cloak and Dagger is the story of an unlikely duo of teenagers that gain thematically appropriate superpowers. In the comics, this involves homelessness and drug addiction, although I suppose that Freeform, formerly known as ABC Family, will probably sanitize their origins. But if you want to watch homeless kids with superpowers, Hulu has you covered. Casting has also been announced for Marvel's Runaways, a series about 6 teenagers who join forces against their supervillain parents. Renzi Feliz stars as Alex Wilder, the loner nerd of the group. Lyrica Okano plays Nico Minoru, the gothic witch girl. Virginia Gardner is Carolina Dean, who is literally too pretty to be from this planet. Ariela Bear is Gert Yokes, who hopefully has a pet raptor in the show. Greg Sulkin plays Chase Stein, an engineer trapped in a jock's body. And last, but certainly not least, Allegra Acosta plays everybody's favorite character, Molly Hernandez, the superpowered little girl. And if that's not enough comic book adaptation for you, hitting theaters this week is the Lego Batman movie. If you didn't get enough of Will Arnett's Batman before, now we get to watch him voice the Caped Crusader in his greatest adventure ever, trying to turn Michael Cera into a superhero. And for something a little more serious, there's John Wick, Chapter 2. It looks like John Wick is back, again, so get ready for another 2 hours of Keanu Reeves looking awesome while killing the crap out of bad guys. Meanwhile, on television, the ticking clock is back with 24 Legacy on Fox, though without Kiefer Sutherland, isn't it really just another terrorism show? Over on Bravo, this week sees the start of a new show, Imposters, a dark comedy about a con artist that gets people to marry her and then vanishes with their money. 3 of her past marks find each other and decide to join forces to track her down. And on FX this week, we have Legion, which centers around David Haller, the schizophrenic son of Charles Xavier, whose multiple personalities give him different mutant powers. More spectacular than that, though, is the mere fact that Marvel Entertainment has gotten an X-Men related property to television, considering the embargo on all things Fox in recent years. In video games, Gunmetal Arcadia looks like this week's most faithful retro game. This roguelike adventure game features 5 characters and looks to be heavily inspired by Zelda 2. For some more modern exploration, Phoning Home puts you in the role of a Wall-E-like robot running around an alien world solving puzzles and mysteries with another robot friend. The trailer doesn't really show you much about what the gameplay might look like, but it is pretty and has decent voice acting. The same can be said for Atelier Sophie, the Alchemist of the Mysterious Book. It's the 17th main game in this RPG series and the first one to see a PC release. But don't worry if you don't feel like jumping in without playing the previous 16 games. While I'm sure it would be helpful, this game marks the start of a new story. For something more actiony, Bleed 2 comes out this week for another round of mixing platform shooting with bullet hell mechanics, and naturally, because it's a sequel, the game features an expanded range of local co-op options. Then there's Jump to Die, which has a confusing premise. At first glance, it looks like the game puts you in charge of a suicide company where you build attractions for people to enjoy before they punch their own ticket. But then the zombies show up, and it seems that the game turns into tower defense, so I'm not sure what to make of this one. Wrapping things up with this week's CGBros video, we have Tears in the Rain by Christopher Harvey. There's not actually a whole lot of CG here, but if you need something to hold you over until Blade Runner 2, this fan film will do.
You're a replicant, Andy. No. There is no dog in your past. No wife. Only 4 years of Dirty floors and overflowing toilets.
I would know if I was a replicant.
No. No, you wouldn't.
And finally, this week's awesome video was an informative one from Noggin, who released a mini documentary about the history of video game sound cards.
Let's say that you somehow managed to get Mario Maker onto your NES, and you finally finished that level you spent 7 hours making. This would make the game dictate that a certain set of sound waves should be mixed and played in a certain order to produce the "You won" jingle. The console's processor would then notice that you've won, refer back to the information on the game cartridge, and then relay the simple mixing data to the PSG's control register.
That's all for this week, so what do you think of the end of Peter Capaldi's run? Is it time to put the TARDIS away for a little while, or just get some new blood into the mix? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, pass this video around to your friends, and have a great week!